Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Living Generationally podcast. I am so excited that you are here and back for another podcast episode. And I really am truly excited to be here and just the privilege of being able to have Living Generationally and just to learn alongside you. Because even though I'm the one who's hosting this podcast and I am coming up with different ideas for podcast episodes, I am learning alongside with you. I'm just 23 years old and I'm figuring it out, and we're all figuring life out. And the Lord is gracious and he is good. And yeah, I just want to take you along the ride of how I'm learning to live with a long-term perspective, how I'm learning to treasure the beauty of the moments that the Lord has given me. And that is like the culmination of living generationally and just living with a long-term perspective. And yeah. And if you're new here, my name is Brianna Laurie. Like I mentioned, I am a young adult who is passionate about creating a meaningful life through fostering purpose, gratitude, and accountability. And I want to welcome you back to the Living Generationally podcast, where I get to do just that. I get the wonderful privilege each week to come on here and encourage you to consider how your daily actions and decision making not only impact the current generation, but also the next generation as well too. And I believe that starting here with how we steward our everyday life can create legacies that carry on into the future. And that is so powerful. Just the idea that each day that the Lord has given us, we get an opportunity to see how we're going to act, how we're going to steward it, how we're going to offer back up to Him, and how we're going to love, and so many other things as well too. And yeah, and I really hope that this podcast is a blessing to you as we learn and grow together, and as we're stretched on this journey, and as highs and lows and moments of beauty and all of it, all of it. And I'm excited to see what the Lord does. And in today's podcast episode, I don't really have like a set idea for a topic for this podcast episode, but there's some thoughts that I have, and I'm kind of gonna run with it and see where we go with it. But I've been thinking about. I was talking to my mama about this, that I've been applying for jobs and looking for jobs and applying, and I haven't really nothing has stuck. No, like I've applied, got rejected, had interviews, got rejected, and if you're in that, if you're also experiencing that, that kind of sucks. Like it's for lack of a better word, and that it doesn't feel good to be in a position where you're constantly putting yourself out there for an opportunity and you're constantly getting rejected. Um, and there's so many things I'm learning within that the Lord is teaching me. But one of the things that I'm learning is to take a leap of faith and just step out and to start something new and to put myself out there in a way that is uncomfortable. And for example, with living generationally, this is like a stretching passion project that I want to pursue, and I want to see what the Lord is going to do with it. And I'm excited for what He's going to do with it. I'm excited how He's going to grow me through living generationally in this opportunity to do. I don't know honestly what I'm doing, but I am just have a passion and just and seeing where it leads, and just working on that and being able to produce content and whatever that looks like as well too. I don't really know. I don't have it all figured out, but right now it's in the form of podcast and being able to communicate and talk. But I'm learning to just take leaps of faith and just create adventure and to take risk that is wise, and using wisdom, but to take risk and being unemployed and looking for jobs and kind of going through this cycle of, okay, like I'm applying, taking the time to reply, getting interviews and getting rejected, and then not hearing back from jobs as well too, it kind of can put like a damper in my mood where I'm just like, okay, like Lord, like I'm applying for these jobs, but I'm really not hearing anything back, and I'm a bit discouraged. I just don't know what to do, like, and kind of the motivation behind getting a job as well too, and it's not a bad thing. I think um, um, getting a job to help provide and to save and do those things aren't bad, but it's kind of become I don't know. It's not. It's honestly it feels like it's becoming an idol, which it seems odd to admit because it makes sense. Like, oh, like to get a job to work, and that makes sense. Like it does make sense, but it's coming to the point where I don't know. Like I feel like I'm chasing this thing and kind of saying like, Lord, if I don't get a job, like things around me is gonna crumble. Things are gonna happen. This is gonna happen, and it's kind of like stealing my joy, and is stealing my faith in the Lord, and I'm allowing that to steal my joy and my trust in the Lord, and I'm giving myself over to that and giving power with being unemployed, and praise the Lord, like I don't have any debt. That is something that um, I would say work hard to achieve, but also I'm 23, and I feel like many 23-year-olds in my stage of life can be in debt just from graduating college. But I kind of made the choice if I had to pay for school, um, I wouldn't have gone. Um, yeah, I just don't want. I didn't want debt. I didn't want that college debt or loan, and just even other debts as well too. I'm not in debt at all. So having a job right now isn't the most pressing thing, even though there are pressures and situations in life within my life where I would like to have a job to be able to help out in different areas. But I say that um, I say that because I am realizing that I have so much space to step out in faith and do something and to put myself out there to be creative, and this is the perfect time to do that, where a lot of the risk that I'm taking will fall upon my own self. Like I don't have no one relying or depending upon me, even though I want to live with that perspective of the future of like I want kids and I want to be married and I want to live now with perspective. Okay, how can I steward the now so that, Lord willing, if I do get married one day or have children one day, that my children and my husband aren't carrying the financial burdens or the weight of my actions and decision making from today. Um, but I do think it's a wonderful opportunity to go out there and to try things and just to put myself out there in a way that I wouldn't have expected or thought. And I want to encourage you to do that as well too. And I don't know your situation. I don't know your financial background, and I don't think it's bad to have a job. I hope you're not hearing that from me saying that. But I wonder what it looks like to take that leap of faith. Like I'm that kind of person where like I don't know, like I don't want to live. I don't want to half live life. Meaning, like, I don't want to do the things that may feel scary in a sense of taking big risk, because I'm living in fear or I'm not allowing myself or pushing myself. Like, I don't want to live life. I don't want to half live. And for me, half living is like knowing the potential, knowing the passion projects the Lord has put on your heart and not pursuing them because you're fearful or I don't know, or you're unwilling to allow things um you're unwilling to allow change to come. I don't I'm learning to adjust to change and say, hey, like yes, change can be scary because it's uncertain and it's uncomfortable and it's stretching, but man, I'm sure there's so much beauty in it as well too, and taking that leap of faith and pursuing projects and doing things that you wouldn't have thought or even imagined to do if I was locked in a job. I don't know, like if I was locked in a job, would I be pursuing living generationally right now? Maybe not. I don't think so. I think if I had it all lined up, I wouldn't be taking a leap of faith and seeing where the Lord will guide and lead and just stepping into the unknown. And it feels so exciting too to do that. Like I've been thinking about it, like, man, like, I have the perspective, like, oh, I need to have certainty, and I need to know everything, have control. And honestly, it's only creating more anxiety and more overwhelmed. But when I have this idea, I still want to have responsibility in my life. But when I also have this idea of stepping into adventure and stepping into the unknown, it's like, oh Lord, I'm so excited for what is next. I'm like, it makes me emotional. I don't know why, but it's like, I think it's just like breaking free from that mindset as well too, of like having a fixed and fixed mindset and just being fearful and just stuck and not wanting to step out in faith and do things. And I want to encourage you that if you're in that place where you know that there's desires and passion projects in your life and heart, and yes, you want to use wisdom, um, but I go for it. Go for those dreams and goals and desires that the Lord has placed in your heart, and do it to the glory of Him. Obviously, but pursue them. Like, I just don't want to get to the end of my life and just realize, like, man, like, I lived half a life because I was so fearful and not willing to take risk or step out in faith and do things that um, may stretch me, may be uncomfortable, may put me in a place where I don't know my next steps. Um, yeah, but I've just been thinking about that because my mom and I, we've been talking about that. Like, I've been applying for jobs and it's been hard, and I'm not the only one. I'm sure about that. Like, just I've heard other stories of people trying to apply for jobs and it being a long time before they actually get a job. And I'm just not I'm not the kind of person just to sit around and do nothing during that time. Um, I I have these projects and these ideas and these different things that I'm like, Lord, I'm just gonna step out in faith. Like, I'm just gonna say yes, Lord, and you will guide and lead me. And of course, I want to walk in wisdom and want wise counsel. But Lord, I'm 23 years old. I'm single, and I um, get an opportunity to live this life once, live it to the glory of you, and to step out in faith and do things that may surprise and shock me, and to create something beautiful that will not only impact my life, but those around me, and to bless them and to bless the next generation. That sounds like an absolute blessing and just dream to me, to just live in such a way where um I can have adventure, but and be creative, but also build in such a way where I can care for those who the Lord has so kindly placed in my life, but also build to care for the next generation as well too. And but I'm also learning that this route isn't easy. It isn't an easy route to not have everything set for you. Like, when you have a job, you know the amount of money that's coming in. You know, okay, I need to do this day and this that day, and um. But when you're pursuing projects, you can have order and you can create order. But in the beginning, you don't know these statistics of, oh, this like this is going to go well and this is going to be profitable. This is going to be a good idea. You're just kind of stepping out in faith with a lot of those things and saying, like, you want it to work and you're willing to pursue it so it does work. Um, and sometimes it doesn't, and you grow, you learn, and keep going. But I I just I don't want to live not knowing what could have been if I just took the step of faith and just tried. And even if I do fail, like, learning to embrace failure even when it's uncomfortable, and that's not easy for us because success feels good, and it's not a bad thing to succeed, and um but there's so much to learn in failure, and I feel as though that we have this framework of failure where we just um come across a barrier and just stop and quit because it's hard, it's uncomfortable, and it's stretching. But I see that those who fail and those who keep pushing and do the hard things are those who are the most successful. Um, but they also are those with some of the greatest stories ever. And I want to live a great story. I want to live um, a life that honors and glorifies the Lord and magnifies His name, but also step into the adventure that is life, and with all its ups and downs and trials, and not to be afraid of the hard, um, but to embrace it and to grow in it. And I think the structure of just having the assurance of um, a job is kind of restricting me from doing what I want to do. And it's not to say that I'm not like pursuing areas where I can maybe do some freelance work within um, what I'm trying to do, like bookkeeping and finance. That is kind of the area of what I've been gifted in and kind of have a talent for and skill level for, and kind of wanting to step into that. But that's also, and me stepping into faith is me doing freelancing, because that is a step of faith. Like, you're offering services, you're to other people, in um that is its own journey in its own self. But I'm just learning to just step into adventure and just to embrace it as well too. And I've been someone like who's, I don't know if I've always had this adventure spirit within me. I don't really know, but it's been something that the Lord has been cultivating within me, and it's been so beautiful to like step into and to be excited about it and to be like, yes, Lord, I'm stoked. I'm so excited what you can do and what you're going to do, and just how through it all, like I can glorify you and share what you're doing, and share who you are. It's just amazing. Um, yeah, so I'm just a 23-year-old figuring it out and just walking in faith and just stepping out and seeing what opportunities are out there and what opportunities that maybe I can create through the choice of just going out there and just seeing what's there and what skills or I have to offer, and kind of growing from there. Um, it's been interesting, and what's interesting is that the I felt for so long, even while applying for jobs, I also felt like this kind of nudge to just stop applying and just kind of find my own way, kind of pave it my own way. Um, but I was fearful. I was fearful to trust the Lord, fearful that if I don't have the assurance of a job, then if a tragedy happens, then what am I going to do? And yes, those are still things I they're in the back of my head and I still think about. But it's like, oh man, like Lord, am I gonna bank on a what if, or I'm going to step out in faith and say, okay, Lord, that may happen, but didn't your word say that you will be there, you will guide, and you will lead me? And yes, like I said, I still want to walk in wisdom and and be responsible, be accountable. But it's like part of living generationally is like also fostering that passion as well too. And um, it's it's cool to see where the Lord is going to lead and where He's going to guide. But yeah, I'm excited to see what's next and how He's going to use it all. And yeah, and I want to encourage you that wherever you are, whether you're jobless, looking for jobs, pursuing passion projects, and not going, maybe going the way that you expected it to go, I just want to encourage you to keep stepping out in faith, keep trusting the Lord, but also keep putting in the work too. Because I think sometimes we just think walking in faith means like just giving it to the Lord, and we think that we just throw off all responsibility, and that's just not the case. I'm not encouraging that at all. Please don't hear me and think that. But I want to encourage you to keep pursuing what the Lord has placed before you, even if you do have a job, but you're also pursuing that passion project. But keep pursuing that and seeing where it goes, and maybe it gets to the point where one day it can take over your full time income and be something that helps provide for your family. Um, But I think it's just beautiful just to embrace this season of my life as a young adult, figuring it out and saying, Lord, like, here I am, and I want to be used for your will. And I'm so excited. Like, I'm not gonna allow fear to stop me. I'm gonna walk in faith. You are guiding me. You are leading me, and if I believe that if I veer off the path, that by your grace you will direct me, and that is what I'm doing. I don't know what the future holds. I don't know. None of us know what the future holds. No, none of us, even those who have it set up for themselves, who worked hard and have it set up for themselves, they still don't know what is next, even with the assurances that they've built. The next day could throw a curveball. None of us know what is 1000% certainty what is next. We are all living and walking in faith, whether we want to believe it or not. Um, yeah, and I feel for the person who is in a situation where they have no that they have um financial problems or struggles, and it's feeling really hard right now. Um, and I want to encourage you that though it's hard, you still have a choice in it all. Um, you still have a choice, and you can interpret that the way you want to. And I just want to encourage you that you have a choice. You can stay within the fear of the hardship and the struggle, or you can choose to continue to walk in faith, even if it kind of breaks you. And I'm not speaking from not knowing, because there are financial struggles that not my own but just family wise that walking through and just trusting the Lord in and walking in faith in. um but I just want to encourage you in that as well too. Remember, I'm just a 23-year-old. I don't have much life um experience. I'm just learning and growing. But even those who are older than me, I'm just hearing from their life and their wisdom speak similarly as they've gone through different experiences and hardships. That you can decide to stay within the realm of that hardship, and it's okay to process it. But there's a difference between processing it and just living and making your home there. But then there's the other side where you can decide, okay, I'm experiencing this hardship, but I believe that where there's a will, there's a way, and I can choose differently. Yeah, and yes, it's easier said than done. There are hardships, and life is hard. But something I'm learning is life. Like, I think we see hard as bad, and that those two don't directly always have to correlate. Yes, there are bad things. Yes, there are hard things that can be bad things, but hard doesn't always have to necessarily mean that it is bad and it's wrong. And I think sometimes we need to reframe our mindset around that. It's like, yes, this is hard, but I can also praise the Lord for this hardship, because it's like, okay, Lord, it's strengthening me, it's growing me, it's sanctifying me, it's only encouraging me more to go after what you have placed in my heart and life. Um, yeah, I hope that this was of help and encouraging to you. And we're figuring it out. Have grace for yourself. And that's something I'm learning, to have grace for myself as well too. Um, yeah, I hope you have a blessed day and that you continue on. I'm rooting for you. Yeah. Until next time, live with legacy, leading to the future. Goodbye, friends.